Today we're lucky enough to be joined by a pretty much baseball expert, in my opinion, Brent McGuire. Now, Brent played college baseball. He played a lot of different levels of high school baseball, and he's had several kids who also are baseball players. He's coached, he's played it, and he's been a parent. Today he's going to go over a drill with us that'll help you get your team ready to go, help them stay healthy and be more accurate in their throws. Pretty interesting stuff. It's Brent McGuire today on Clubhouse Gas. All right, so Brent, you're going to take us through a warm-up drill. You're going to take me through the drill that you do, that you're telling me, number one, get your kids warmed up and helps prevent injuries, and number two, helps with their throwing accuracy, correct?
Absolutely. Casey, you probably remember back in the day when you played Little League baseball and high school baseball, your coach in a hurried fashion would say to you, hey guys, everybody hustle on down to the outfield, get in the corner, get a ball, hurry up and go get loose. Get your arm loose really quickly. We got to go and we got to get into practice. And what we're trying to do is counteract that. We're feeling that a lot of coaches still do that to some point, and as a result of that, they're experiencing a lot of arm injuries with their players.
Yeah.
They're also experiencing the fact that their players aren't making accurate throws during games. So what we do with our teams, we do a throwing progression plan. And with this plan, we're focusing on two things. One, preventative maintenance on our kids' arms. We're doing a nice progression that warms them up properly, which in turn will prevent an injury, hopefully. And number two, they are really making strong, accurate throws throughout games and in practices, and it's made a difference.
Well, those are two things we're extremely interested in here at Clubhouse Gas, keeping kids safe and making them more fundamentally sound. So how about you take us through it, and we'll see if we can run through this thing.
That'll be great, Casey. First thing first, as we tell our players at the beginning of the season, number one is our glove, okay? We're going to be doing some catching as well and working on our catching skills. And we have a saying at our school, if you take care of your glove, it's going to take care of you. And it's very common to see on the first day of practice, kids will come out and their strings are loose, the webbing is a little off, the glove needs to be conditioned, they're not taking care of it. So we want to make sure that the kids are paying good attention to their equipment, taking care of it, and it will take care of you. When we're going through our throwing progression today, Casey, we want to make sure that we're using a proper grip. Whether you're throwing a baseball or a softball, we're emphasizing to our players a across the seam grip with your fingers going directly across the seams. Whether they're using 2 fingers or 3 is their choice, whatever is most comfortable for them. But make sure that the fingers are placed across the seams, which in turn is going to make the ball go straighter and more accurate for you. So we're going to start with a nice distance apart, roughly about 5 to 6 yards. You're going to be with the partner, nice relaxed, and we're going to start with what are called wrist flips. We're going to have the player check the grip, make sure the seams or the fingers are across the seams. They're going to take their elbow and support it in their glove. And they're going to present the ball to their partner, and all they're going to do is a nice wrist flip, such as this. When they finish, they want that wrist and fingers pointed straight to their partner. Okay. Once our athletes make roughly 8 to 12 throws, then we're going to tell them take 2 giant steps backwards. We're now going to go into what is called an arm extension, or basically we're throwing darts. If the player wants to support the elbow again, that's perfectly fine, but more than likely they're going to want to present without the glove, make a nice presentation to their partner, and make a full arm extension like they were throwing a dart with a nice follow through. Perfect. The next segment is going to what we call the letter T. And now when they get to this point, we're going to make sure that our players are aware of 2 or 3 aspects. Number one, when they're going into the letter T, they're thinking accuracy. This is where it all begins. So every throw that our players make has a purpose. And you're going to be my framework or my target, Casey. And when I'm throwing the baseball, I am going to be focusing anywhere on points on your shoulders to your belt line, anywhere in this what we call framework. So I'm going to now turn my body sideways. Feet are about as wide as my shoulder. I'm going to extend my arm outward. I'm going to check my grip, making sure that my fingers are placed on top of the ball and the thumb is underneath. Then I'm going to simulate an overhand throw, but we're going to check to make sure that we have a nice strong letter L. And we're also going to check our release point. We're making sure that the players are not releasing the ball back here. If so, it's going to sail over your partner's head. We want them throwing downhill to make a downward angle flight into the framework. Check the grip, eyes on the partner, hit the framework. Once our players have done this roughly 8 to 12 times, we'll ask them to back up a few steps. We're now going into a square position. Feet are just about as wide as the shoulders. We're going to present the ball and have it in our glove, focusing on our framework with our partner. We're going to take the ball down to the thigh, up to the sky to form that letter L, and then we're going to be throwing downhill with a nice follow through. Again, we're going to ask that our players make roughly 8 to 12 throws. By now, we're starting to slowly get warmed up, and here comes the fun part. This is when the players start incorporating their feet into every throw. And we make it mandatory that every throw they make, they must have some type of footwork going towards their partner, whether it's a momentum step, a crow hop, or a shuffle step. It's up to them what they desire to use, as long as they're moving their feet towards their partner. Each throw that we make, our arm continues to get warm, and we just gradually move back just a little bit further each time, keeping those feet active. And then once we finish roughly 3 to 4 minutes of this type of throwing, now we're going to have what we call our specialty throwing. Catchers will be throwing with catchers, infielders are going to be throwing with infielders, outfielders with outfielders. Catchers will assume their catching position as if a runner were on base. They're going to receive the ball, pop up, and make a strong throw. Infielders, we're going to simulate a ground ball being hit to you. You're going to gather the ball, shuffle your feet, and make a nice momentum throw to your partner. And if you're an outfielder, our outfielders will be at a greater distance. They're going to simulate a runner on second base, a ball hit to them. They're going to field the ground ball off to the side, come up, make a crow hop, and a nice strong throw to their partner, as if they were throwing them out. Again, the focus is that every throw our players make, no matter what position they're playing, every throw has a purpose and a meaning. If you do it right in this activity, you're going to do it right in the game, and that's what we're looking for. To close, we have our players get about 10 yards from each other. Now we're going to get into what is called the hands and feet aspect of throwing and catching. This is a quick release drill, like you're turning a double play. Hands and feet are moving, getting rid of the ball, and trying to hit that framework every time. Notice our footwork is always involved. We're active, just like we're turning a double play or getting rid of a ball at any time. We'll stop that set. We'll let them take a 30-second break, and then we'll have them repeat this roughly 3 or 4 different sets.
The entire drill.
Absolutely. If you do these drills, you're going to eliminate arm injuries, and you're going to make accurate throws. We've seen it work. Believe in it.
Brent, thank you so much. We
My
really
pleasure.
appreciate it. That's going to do it for us today. Take these drills, put them into practice, and then go to our message boards and let us know how they worked. We'll see you right back here tomorrow on Clubhouse Gas.